estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. He is the man with the plan. How's it going, Joey?
What's going on? Let's chest bump.
Yes, we were supposed to do that earlier, right? To kind of get too many chords.
Yes.
Hey, we've got a fantastic guest with us today.
Yeah.
And that guest is Scott Jarson with AZ Architecture, Jarson and Jarson Real Estate. How are you doing?
Jeff and Joey, good morning. Thank you for having me here. This is fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a great time, and you're going to share a lot of interesting things with us, I know.
He's got some good stuff going on.
I'll make it up as I go.
A little bit different niche,
that's
I think,
true.
that you're in, so this is going to be fun. Why don't we start with telling the agents that are listening or watching how long you've been in the business and what got you into real estate?
Yeah, sure. It's an interesting tale. I've been in the business now 30 years, which is amazing. I get a watch at some point, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Or they get a hook and drag me off stage. But I got licensed in 1987, but my wife preceded me in real estate. She was licensed in 1984, and she's our designated broker. She's amazing.
Okay.
She's still out there selling and very much a partner. She's the first Jarson in
I was going to say,
Jarson.
which one?
Okay. No, definitely first billing.
Okay. All right. Smart man.
She does all the work. But she got pregnant with our first boy, and I was looking for a career change. I was actually in agriculture, and that was kind of dying in the valley. So not literally, but changing.
Sure.
So I was looking for a new career. Always loved real estate. Followed her in just to sort of pick up the slack, and found that I loved it and never looked back.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. So, seen a lot of changes in 30 years, huh?
A lot of changes in 30 years.
Yeah.
I definitely need GPS now because half the areas that used to be farmland are now like subdivisions. I don't know. I get lost.
What do we do without GPS?
Exactly.
Get lost.
Yeah. Thomas Brothers maps, whatever those are.
What were those, McNally or whatever?
Yeah. That's
those
right.
Maybe
the gas station. And
there's this thing, Joey, it's called asking someone.
That's true.
For directions.
Yes.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen much anymore, does it? People scared when you roll down your window and ask a question.
Yeah.
So why don't we jump into what are you doing now? I mean, what are you doing now in real estate? 30 years in the business to be successful. What's kind of
Well, it's kind of interesting. I mean, we have a long path in that early on in our career, we had a very good, solid real estate business. We were doing very well. We worked sort of all aspects of the business, but we decided to specialize in 1990, my wife and I and a small team, and we have specialized in architecturally unique homes for that entire time.
Okay.
And so now, at this point in our career, we've got a certain level of success, especially within our niche, and for me, it's about sharing the knowledge I've built over the last 30 years now. I find that this resonates a lot with our clients. This resonates with younger agents. So this is how we kind of keep on top of our game. Now, it's kind of fun to go in the early part of your career, you're gaining that knowledge, and the second half, you're sharing it, and keeps us engaged.
Yeah. No, that's so. When you say so, different architectural.
Yeah.
So give me what would be an example, I guess, or
well, because
there's so many tract homes out there.
Exactly.
What would be a good example?
Well, there are so many tract homes out there, and that was one of the reasons I got into the niche. My wife and I both come from arts and design backgrounds. I actually have a fine arts degree. I studied architecture. And at some point, I felt like I was maybe part of the problem. I was selling houses I wasn't getting my mind around. I wasn't enjoying it. And I found a base of clients that responded to something unique, something creative, something different.
Yeah.
And it's a broad brush. So we are architecturally unique homes, and that could be anything from a very cool hip urban condo all the way to historic adobe, something downtown, to full-on modernist architecture.
Oh, that's great.
So we work the full spectrum.
Yeah, we're all about. I mean, I love hearing someone doing something different than the norm because there's 40,000 of us in the valley.
Exactly.
Right.
And it seems like we all do the same things, but I like this approach. We had another guest on, and their whole thing was like urban living.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
a really unique niche.
Yeah.
I like this architectural. That's cool.
It's been good.
Yeah. So what would you say, buyers versus the list side? Kind of, how's the business right now?
For us, it's about 60-40, 60 listing. A lot of that is coming from the fact that sort of organically we've grown our business around our knowledge of unique properties.
Okay.
And so those owners know who we are. They know our website. They come to us to sort of represent their very special home. On the flip side of that, buyers know we know where the cool stuff is.
There you go.
So we're not quite balanced. We get a few more listings than buyers, but it's been good. The interesting thing on our list side, we tend to sell a little more in-house than other people. The buyers hit our website. They know we kind of specialize in architecture and call us direct about 12% of the time. So it's a good number actually.
Yeah, with homes with different architecture, they're very they're hard to appraise, aren't they? Aren't they different to appraise than
big part of our job is educating the appraiser.
Yeah,
and we're there for that process, and we have. Thankfully, we have the knowledge of the database. I can go back. I can show them like for like, apples for apples. And it's hard. And they need, they're doing their job, and we just help them do it better.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. Should I use that at the next one I go to?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just meet him there and say, I'm only here to help you do your job better.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It's just all about ease for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ease. That's a better word, right?
Sure.
So since it's... You say you have buyers that will come to your website. They know that you guys have the cool houses, right?
It's true.
What do you have a wide spectrum of ages that are buying these cooler, interested in architectural design?
It is. It's one of the things that makes going to work fun every day because it's very diverse and it's very different. So we have first and second time home buyers are looking for something unique, for everything from like a really hip condo or just a great little starter home with some level of character. Maybe it could be a historic ranch, it could be a little mid-century modern place, and that goes all the way up to uber luxury. Okay. So on the top end, we're pretty engaged. There are some real strong, world-renowned architects that work in this valley, and we get to represent a pretty good share of that property.
Oh, that's great!
Wow.
That's awesome.
How do you grow your database of the different cool-looking houses? I mean, I know you're probably used to some certain areas, but when something comes up and you're like, oh, I mean, do you comb through the MLS? I mean, what do you do?
We stalk people. We do.
Well, that works.
Yeah, we wait in the driveway until they come out.
Sit outside their house.
Yeah. You don't know me, but it started interestingly enough. Some background. I was raised in Arizona, and just out of geographical luck, I grew up in an area very close to Paula Soleri. I spent a lot of time with Cassanti. He's a pretty well-known architect. A lot of the kids that grew up at Taliesin West, I went to school with them. So I had an early architectural education. I knew where those houses were. It was a point in time where a lot of new houses were being built that are now mid-century modern. They were just modern when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I had a good idea of where they were from the get-go. But we have actually spent a large amount of our time and career studying where those houses are, creating the database. We work really closely with architects, young and old, to see what the next thing is and who built what. Yeah. And that knowledge helps us know where these houses are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good.
So with marketing then, if you are, are you doing something different on the marketing side to get those people that want that type of a house?
Yeah, we definitely are. A big thing for us is we're visual marketers. So the product that we specialize in is usually really beautiful to look at, or at least very interesting to look at. And so we push the visual imagery very strong on all of our marketing. We still do a fair amount of direct mail. We do publish our own publication in print and online from time to time called Defining Desert Living. So we're engaged in that world, and it's all about presenting these properties to the public. The buyer today is starved for information. They're going to get it everywhere, but when they get the visual information from us, it's a notch up. We have an in-house photographer. He's trained to shoot architecture. It's something that we specialize every day. So we want to tell that visual story a little differently than everybody else.
Okay. So have you had? I have to ask this just because I have to. So since you're going after, since you find the hip people wanting to buy the hip houses, right?
Yeah.
Have you had anybody come and offer cryptocurrency to buy a house yet?
That's actually happened.
Has
We
it?
found a facilitator that would handle that transaction.
Wow.
So we did have our first cryptocurrency sale.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it all went through.
That's all scary.
I think that you know what the scary part was. I think that buyer bought the house with the cryptocurrency right before the big run up. So you got to pick your moments.
Yeah.
So the seller made out like a bandit.
Yeah,
if they kept that.
If they kept it, which I don't think they did.
They probably converted it before it even was even done. But
Yeah.
So did you get paid in
Come to
cryptocurrency?
No, we got paid out of escrow. We get the check direct from the title company.
Darn, get that Bitcoin while it was at 2,000, right? Before it jumped to 19. Oh, man. That's going to be an interesting thing going down the road, I think.
I think it is,
It's,
I think we
it seems like there are a lot of bigger institutions and some government entities that are starting to pay attention and get behind it a little bit. So we'll see how it goes.
Future trend.
So we talked about the niche. I mean, I would assume that is that's kind of your guys' niche then.
It is, and it's kind of funny because when we started this, we planted our flag in this, as I said, early, 1990.
Yeah.
We're going to be about architecturally unique homes, and it was kind of fun because sort of within our peer group, realtor to realtor,
right.
This was a far-fetched idea. And it came with a fair amount of ridicule. So we'd go on a regional tour, and every weird looking house.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh yeah, Jarson listing. It's painted purple like that one. That's what you guys like, right?"
Yeah.
But I think we got the last laugh. Because,
so when before you started that,
Yes.
right, or when you started that,
Yes.
okay, I'm sure you didn't get a lot of people come to you right away because they didn't really know your niche yet,
That's
right?
right,
So
yeah.
were you doing almost everything then, like? People want to see house in Scottsdale, one in Buckeye, and wherever until that niche started to build.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to, and I think anybody who's out there building a niche, you got to realize you're going to build it organically. It's going to take some time. You have to learn your craft as well. So you have to know where to go, what to look, how to represent it. Say you're going to be the condo king, you got to read a lot of condo CC&Rs to be that expert, right? And so we did the same thing. And we had a lot of very traditional product, and we still do, because a lot of times it's aspirational for our buyers. So we get a buyer who come to us with a nice house, but fairly traditional. And we have a place and a way to market that, and we're good at that. Mm-hmm. And we help them get to that next house. And that's really fun. Yeah. And that's really fun. And sometimes first-time buyers, like, I can't quite get to an albedo modern house. I want to. That's how we're going to live our life. In the meantime, can you find me a cool little ranch in Midtown?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah. I've mentioned a niche, and I even had an agent tell me, I don't think many people would like that direction, right? So I'm like, interesting, but we'll see.
Good.
We'll see, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, what tips, if you were to give some tips to an agent, and let's take this a little bit different direction. Maybe maybe they want to break into a niche.
Yeah.
Right. What would you tell them that they need to make sure that they're doing?
I think one of the there's no shortcuts. So the best advice I could get is, and again, just hone your craft, learn your niche. And it may be a process where you're not making money in that niche, but if you do it enough, if you view it enough, if you look at the inventory, you may not have a buyer for that now, but if you're diligent about previewing and just getting to the point where you really know where all this is, then make your name present in that location. You'll find yourself organically growing into what you want to represent. Plus, your enthusiasm. You don't pick a niche that you don't really like.
Right.
Like, don't be the condo king if you really don't like condos.
Right?
We eat, sleep, breathe, live architecture in our firm. All of our agents are cross-trained. They enjoy it. They're maybe not, totally a freak like I am about it, but it's something that we do every day. And so I think anybody who's building that niche has to want to really be part of that world.
So really put your voice out there, right?
Exactly.
Did you speak it constant? I mean, is that what you always spoke?
Yeah.
The architecture side? I mean, or did you mix it up a lot?
No, I think, in the beginning, a lot of it's feeling your way a little bit, to feel the point where you're sharing information,
Yeah.
but you're not lecturing. So, when your buyer's eyes start to glaze over, you realize you need to back off on that architecture lesson a little bit. It's a little too much information, but there are those who are hungry for it. So then you kind of figure out that
Yeah.
you're all in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of like when my wife says, "Are you really talking to me about marketing?" Because I'm not hearing a thing you're saying right now.
Yeah, exactly.
She goes, "Call Joey or something, please." Oh gosh. So, what's one thing that that's made the biggest impact in your business?
I think one of the things that's made a great impact in my business is, frankly, having a core commitment to our ideals and values regarding architecture and design. We really believe that good design can change lives, and it can change communities. We get clients who come from out of state, and they're frustrated, and they've maybe burned through a couple of agencies, and they haven't seen anything they like. And they're like, "We took this job here, and we're seeing a sea of tile roofs and stucco, and it's not us, and we want a more fun location where it's not suburban buyers," whatever it is.
Right.
And they're like, "Wow, we found you." So, we planted the flag. We focused in on what our core beliefs were, and we stuck with it. And I think that's been really a major part of our success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you shared the email you sent me, your mission.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Well, it's a really simple mission. We're here to sell, promote, and creatively market architecturally unique homes, regardless of the price. So it is, again, that really broad brush, very encompassing. But we feel like we live in a special place. And there is a big inventory of really unique properties in Arizona, much more than people think. I think we're on par with areas like LA. They have a greater land mass. They have more. But I think per capita, we're well within the league of it. So you can find everything in Arizona, from a historic bungalow to a 1920s adobe to ultra-modern, cutting-edge, world-class contemporary architecture and design. So it's a special place.
Yeah.
And we have this legacy of Frank Lloyd Wright, which is very strong in our state and often ignored. So, that's it.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks.
That's good
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Man,
awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome. You want to mention, too, you have a new project, I think, that you're working on?
We do. We've been doing a series of infill project sales for a good part of our career, and it's kind of fun. We get embedded early, often with the developer and the architect, and so we're team members from the get-go. So to see it grow from a concept to dirt to coming out of the ground to be ready to sell is really fun.
Yeah.
We have Eldorado on First in Scottsdale. It's in downtown Scottsdale. It's a block south of the Valley Ho. 7 townhome.
Valley Ho?
Yeah. 7 townhome condominiums. Absolutely stunning, world-class architecture by Will Bruder. Out of the 7 homes, we've got 2 left. So that's been selling. And then we have a new modern architecture single-family development right near Scottsdale and McDonald Drive coming soon. So that's fun. 7 single-family homes. So a whole different approach, but it's special.
So you're probably getting these opportunities because of your niche.
It's true.
Yeah.
They do come to us. And again, we have been promoting architects in the Valley for a long time. They're unsung heroes. We have a bumper sticker we give out that says, "Save the desert, hire an architect."
Nice.
Because these men and women are dedicated to creating a visually beautiful place to live.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, we have gotten some great introductions.
Got it.
Yeah.
So if agents, when those projects or when that next project is ready or launched, can agents go to your website to see? Is that where it's going to be?
Yeah,
info
exactly. So, EldoradoOnFirst.com is up.
Okay.
Palo Verde Lane is the next one. Palo Verde Lane Scottsdale is the URL for that. But one of the things, and while we're talking about it, our website, early on when we adopted it, azarchitecture.com, the main purpose is to be informational. So we try to load it up with a lot of information about stylistic designs, architects, great builders, and a lot of an archive of unique properties that are not necessarily for sale, so people can get an idea of what's here. So we're sort of soft sell on that.
Got it.
But it's fun, so people can learn about the latest.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you are looking to build your team still.
We are. It's great. There's 16 of us right now, including Debbie and I, and we have 3 staff and admin, our full-time photographer and marketing director, and So it's a great team. And we are looking for those people. And what we like to hire is people that are sort of maybe mid-career. Maybe they've hit a place where they want to be more engaged in what they do, and maybe they have a design background, or they're at least just interested.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an expert.
Right.
And then we'll nurture a fair amount of newer agents that have the drive and interest.
Yeah.
And it's been great. It's been very gratifying because there is a big groundswell of interest in what mid-century modern homes. I mean, this is a big buzzword now, and we've been sort of fighting that fight for a long time and talking that talk, and now it's become a buzzword which we love. And I think that's interesting to a lot of younger agents who are finally discovering this whole era of design that's fascinating to them. So those are the people we're looking for.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's watching or listening and they want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
I am probably the most accessible person you can think of. It's just Scott@azarchitecture.com. Very informal. They can go on the website. If they click anywhere on the website, and it'll get to me. And, of course, our office number is 480-425-9300.
All right. Well, we're ready to rock and roll with the In the Ring here. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Plastics.
Plastics?
No.
I was going to say, what?
Sorry, that was from The Graduate. I heard this a long time ago, and it's accredited to a lot of people, but 80% of life is showing up. And I've really taken that to heart in my life. You show up on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
You got to be engaged, you got to be connected, and you got to be there. You miss a lot of opportunities just by kind of not making it a
going
priority.
on your smartphone and
being present.
Yeah, being
Smartphone,
present.
Joey.
Yeah, I'm getting a flip phone, by the way.
Oh, very good.
All right, let's go.
How about your favorite mobile app?
I have been using Pro HDRX. It's a photo app.
Yeah.
Love it. I got to say, because we're visual marketers, we take a lot of imagery. I can take an amazing photograph on any iPhone with this app, layer it up, send it to a client. It looks like it just came out of the studio. It's pretty cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is awesome. I'll have to get that before you.
Yeah, great.
How about a book recommendation?
I'm a voracious reader. I read a lot. I read fiction, then nonfiction, kind of back to back.
Okay.
I'm reading Grant right now, which is an amazing biography of U.S. Grant. But I finished the Robert Caro series on LBJ this summer, and that's if you can plow through it. LBJ was this guy. If he didn't like politics and had gone into real estate, he'd have just ruled the world. Nobody said no to him. But I read a book early on, kind of using the Wayback Machine a little bit. I read a book early on by the name Robert Pirsig is the author, and it's Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I recommend it.
Really?
It's a philosophical read, but there's a lot of reflection of Western society versus alternative thinking. And one of the takeaways in that is there's a concept of stuckness, where you use all your rational thought to solve a problem, and when you can't fix it is when the creative thought begins. So when you get to this brick wall in your career, you can't get any further, you can't make this happen.
Yeah.
There's a moment where your mind opens up and you think of that workaround. And it's been a good book.
What's the name of the book?
Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Motorcycle
Yeah,
maintenance.
good read.
So if we could just picture the wall earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Then our mind will open up.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about one productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
We have been using Adobe Spark a lot.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And again, visual.
It's free.
And it's free. And you can create a great social media campaign in seconds anywhere you go. So you're a great listing. You can really document it, pound it out. It's a good tool.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
And one final question.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
We'll have you draw from the mask there. Let's see what we got.
Help, I am being held hostage. Joey. No.
That was last week.
Was it?
It also
Okay.
says quietly
Yeah.
in your mind.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that. I'm sorry. All right. What is the most adventurous thing I've ever done? I am not the guy that jumps off the mountain. I am not. I did enough of that early on that it's just not my thing. But, it kind of sounds odd, but some of the most adventurous things I've done have been starting businesses. I started a business when I was young. I jumped right into real estate, had to make a living at it, was driven. and it was an adventure, and it was out of my comfort zone, and that, I have to put that as one of the top things.
All right.
That and rope climbing, which I'm not going to do that again.
Rope climbing.
Yeah. Rope climbing.
Great.
No, this is awesome. Thank you so much for this info.
Jeff, Joey, thank you. This has been really
awesome.
fun.
This is great. And the website again, because if agents want to go check out all these cool homes.
azarchitecture.com. Letters AZ for Arizona, architecture.com. It's on our name.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Scott, for coming in.
Well, thank you. You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Have a great day.
Until next time, this is Jeff Underwood.
And Joey Sampaga.
We are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs from Security Tile Studios. See you later.
Adios.
Thank you.